Welcome to the Writer's Journey podcast. I'm Michael Laron, a science fiction and fantasy author on a journey to go from nobody to bestseller, and I'm documenting every step of the way. Tune in every week as I pull back the curtain on my writing life and how I'm building a writing career while working a full-time job, raising a family, and attending law school classes in the evenings. You can find show notes for this week's episode, a free starter library of my fiction, and much more at michaellaron.com. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to episode 59. So I am podcasting to you from the new house. So we finally got all moved out of the old one, got the old house all cleaned up, and it is, as I record this, the second day in our new house. And so the move went great. Thank you for all those of you who emailed me to ask how things were going. So the move went great. I moved all the podcast equipment, all my YouTube equipment myself, just to make sure that it got here. But the movers were great. They were phenomenal. In Iowa, there's a company called 2 Men in a Truck, and it's literally two guys in a truck, and they show up and they pack all your stuff, and they rolled up to our house, and 3 hours later, everything was on the truck, and then they rolled up to our new house, and 3 hours later, everything was in our new house, and it was pretty cool. So they're a great company, and we've used them a couple of times to move, and so if you live in Iowa, they're certainly ones that I would call. I have never had a single issue with them, and they definitely took care of us. So we're all in the new house. We're not unpacked yet. There's lots of boxes. In fact, I'm actually podcasting from the basement of my new studio, and it is exceedingly empty in here. So I've got my desk, my recliner, and like a lamp. And that's pretty much it. And this basement's actually unfinished. So, well, actually, one wall is finished, but the rest of it's concrete block wall, which is kind of weird. So it's very echoey in here. At least it sounds very echoey in here. Maybe it's because I don't have furniture, or maybe it's because of the walls, but I'm going to have to get some acoustic foam or something. So I apologize if the sound quality this week is a little bit more echo chambery than you're used to. But I'm really happy with where we are right now. The neighborhood we live in, it's pretty nice. I've gotten to know all my neighbors already, and I've only been here about 2 days. So that's good, and it's a lot more walkable. My wife and I went out for a walk with our daughter yesterday, and kind of stopped and talked to some people and got to know them, and that just wouldn't have happened in the neighborhood that we were in previously. Which it's weird because it's like 5-10 minutes away from where we used to live, but totally different vibe and totally different part of town. So just goes to show you, like, the area where you live really, really does matter. And the house we moved into, we like it a lot. The guy that lived here previously took really good care of it, and had a lot of pride and ownership and all that. And so just figuring out how to keep that going, and definitely have some ideas and interior design ideas. And my wife is very, very busy in all the rooms trying to figure out what she wants to put in them. And I'm just sitting down here in an empty basement trying to figure out what I'm going to do for my YouTube studio. But so for those of you who do follow my YouTube channel, I said it's going to be a couple of weeks before I'm able to get things together. And that is true. So I'm down here in the basement. I've got a lot of space. I've got, for the most part, the equipment that I need. It won't take me very long to order the stuff that I do need, but I'm going to have to figure out the best way to shoot, because right now I can tell you there's nothing down here, and it would look awful on video. So I'm going to get some furniture, and I might put a coat of paint on this wall and figure out what that's going to look like. And once I've done that, then I'll be able to start YouTubing again. And it's probably going to look a little sparse down here for a few weeks, maybe a few months, until I can figure out the best way to design it. But I definitely want to make sure that I take my video quality to the next level. So for those of you who are following along, just know, hey, there's no issues. YouTube will be here. It's just going to take some time. So anyway, that's all I really had this week, other than, I forgot, I actually did have something else this week. So while I was moving and packing and unpacking, I actually did finish the book I was working on, which was this Writer's Dictionary / Encyclopedia. Have no idea how I did it, but every time I had a few minutes of downtime, which was a lot when you're packing and unpacking because you get tired, I sat down and I did a definition or two. And now I'm in the process of just cleaning up some stuff and editing. And it'll be ready for my editor here probably within the next couple of days. So I still need to figure out the title for it because I don't know what the title's going to be. So for those of you who aren't aware of it, I'm working on a dictionary/encyclopedia that has terms and explanations of everything that a working indie author would need to know in their career. And it's ideal for beginners, preferably. But even if you've been around for a while, maybe there's some things in here that you would be able to pick up and learn, because I think that the most important thing you can have as a writer is the tools. When you have the right tools, that's half the battle. And words, they mean things. Vocabulary is a tool, right? That's just one tool that you can use when you're having conversations with other writers and you're trying to follow along with what they're talking about, or you're listening to a podcast and one of the guests is talking about something that you've never heard of before, right? So this book is more like a shortcut. It's just a quick explanation of all those major terms that you need to know. I think there's about 175 to 200 terms in there. And it defines the terms, which, I think anyone could Google those, right? But then it's where the part where it's like an encyclopedia is it actually has explanations and analogies and examples of certain things. Like, for example, what is a do not compete clause in a publishing contract? I explain what that is and why it's important and why you should pay attention to that, right? What's blockchain? What's cryptocurrency? Those sorts of things. But I actually explain them. So I'm excited to share that with you guys when it goes live. But somehow I managed to finish that, and I think I'm done with book number 43. So now I get to figure out what I'm going to write next, which is probably going to be Reaper's Way, because I kicked that to the side to write this because I really wanted to write some nonfiction. So that's all that's going on with me. Just wanted to do this quick show to let you guys know that all is well, and I am back. And I hope you are having a great day wherever you are, and I'll talk to you next week. Thanks for joining me this week. If you like this episode, you'll enjoy my backlist episodes at michaellaron.com/podcast. For your free starter library of my favorite novels, join my fan club by visiting michaellaron.com/fanclub. If you're a writer and you want to connect with me further, check out my YouTube channel, Author Level Up, for helpful writing advice at authorlevelup.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back next week.